Welcome to the final 4 characters in the Everyone Is Here tournament. Yeah, remember this tournament? Anybody remember when we started this off the top of your head? Was it back in October? And we're finally down to the final 4. Yeah, this has been going on for a long time. But that was what we designed it to be. The biggest, the best tournament we've done, right? And it's lived up to that. It has lived up, it has surpassed, it has done everything and then some. It is all that and a bag of chips. Wow, what decade am I from? But welcome back to the channel. We have our next matchup in this tournament. It's going to be a good one. And we got some great results. I got to show you just the number of votes, the number of results, and then we'll get there. So, yeah, we know the rules by now. We get the gist of it. So, I got to put up the rules in case there's somebody new. We'll run through them very quickly. Alright, rule number 1, this tournament is for fun. Keep that in mind when voting. You can vote for whoever you feel like it. Alright, that's what for fun means. Rule 2, you only get 1 vote per person. Alright, keep it fair that way. Rule 3, how do you vote? Down in the comments, type the name of the character you are voting for. If you like both the characters, yes, you are allowed to vote for both by simply typing the word both. Simple. The rest of the rules, double elimination tournament, meaning a character has to lose 2 times overall before being eliminated from the tournament. Then once we get to the results to determine a winner and loser of each individual match, if there happens to be a tie in the votes, we flip a coin on camera, fairest way to break a tie, and then each matchup voting-wise only lasts for just 1 week. Those are the simple rules, so let's get to the rest of the good video. Alright, who's excited to see the results? So, we know the winners, but there's always a fun little story. So, as you can tell, as we know, where is it at here? Crash is taking on Reimu today. Alright, final 4. Heavy weapons, guys, the lone character remaining in the winner's bracket. Now we have Spyro, who awaits the winner of this matchup. Then, of course, Crash and Reimu round out the top 4. They are the top 4 at this point. So, let's start with Reimu's match against Shantae because her match was up first. And boy, this was a doozy, and I had to throw some votes out again because they seemed a little suspicious on both sides. Alright? Just gonna say that, but ultimately, it didn't matter. Reimu ended up beating Shantae. Did you see that? Sorry, it's funny to see. 213 votes. Again, there might have been some fake ones, you know, alternate accounts, we'll say, that might have slipped through. That could be human error on my part, but I just did my best judgment in this part. Did some look fishy? Yeah, threw them out. If I wasn't sure, I left it in. So, 213 votes for Reimu, 113 votes for Shantae. Normally 113 votes, you win it by a mile. Nope, this time you lost by a mile. That is absolutely crazy. And the other crazy thing to think about, Shantae has now lost twice in this tournament. Every other tournament combined before this one, she lost 1 time. 1 time. But she's won every tournament. This is the first tournament she's been in where she has not won it. So, that's absolutely crazy. 3 out of 4 tournament. This is her 4th one that she's in. She won the other 3. So, it took a special fan base. And Reimu, yeah, the Reimu for Smash, they showed up. You guys showed up. You destroyed it. Good work. Good work. But Crash took on Tails, and we know Crash won because he's in the matchup today. He ended up beating Tails. Nowhere near the number of votes as the last match, but 69 votes for Crash Bandicoot and only 43 for Tails. So Tails, unfortunately, ends here, but think about this. Tails made it in the top 6. Top 6 of this tournament. That's freaking amazing. Round of applause to Tails. Don't worry, I will have a video a little bit later after, maybe right before or right after we announce the winner of the whole thing. I will show each character 1 through 100. Yes, there were 100 characters in this tournament. Keep that in mind. So I'll show each character what place they took and then how many votes each of those characters had. That's how I'm, you know, that'll come a little bit later just to kind of get a fun idea. But now we are here, Crash against Reimu. This is going to be fun. So, unfortunately, with the way Reimu and her fan base has continued to show up and then keep stepping up, this might be the end of the line for Crash Bandicoot. But, look, Crash has so much going for him as well. Iconic character, been around for a few decades now, had a recent resurgence in gaming, fun little wacky moveset, great personality, just a very recognizable face and body and character in the gaming universe, has a great legacy. He's got it all. He's got it all. You could even throw in the Nintendo versus Sony rivalry if you want to go that route, which I kind of do. Mario against Crash, that was a whole thing in the 90s. Crash was made to dethrone Mario as the king of the platformers. Didn't happen. I mean, think of it this way. Crash, yeah, he might have took a nosedive, but he's coming back. And Nintendo is still riding Mario to this day. They're still doing Mario stuff, and it's still tremendous. Like, just think of the past week in gaming, for example. Think of the past week in gaming. Or week plus, the last 2 weeks. Microsoft did their Xbox One, or Xbox Series X, the presentation with all the games and stuff. Some say it was a letdown. Not here to argue that. But they did that, showed off some games. Okay, cool. PlayStation ended up doing something with the Ghost of Tsushima, right? That game, that's highly anticipated. That's really awesome. And then Nintendo just goes, Mario. Nintendo can just throw out Mario and people still go crazy for it. The new Paper Mario game looks great, kind of, in a way. I haven't got to play it, so I can't really give an honest opinion. I don't know how the battling system's going to work. I'm eager to find out more, like most of you guys are, so, yeah, it could be fun. But anyway, Crash, I don't know how I got onto Paper Mario there, but Crash, again, he's got everything. He's got his fans. They're really going to need to step up for this one, because this is a race he might not finish first. Might end up finishing 4th overall and 2nd in this particular battle, but we'll see what he does. We'll see how he plays. We'll see who ends up showing up for him. So, yeah, and why is he having a difficult time? Well, we know Reimu, right? Reimu, she's been absolutely destroying it. What was that? I think that was her first or second match in the tournament was against Heavy Weapons guy, and she topped the century mark. That was crazy. That was crazy for a character who's never been in any of my tournaments to notch over 100 votes in one of their first or second matches. That's pretty crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And then she just kind of keeps continuing to do it. Yeah, she lost in the loser bracket, and or not in the loser bracket. She lost and dropped to the loser bracket. She had a couple matches where like the voting fell off. It wasn't quite as high, but that's because the Reimu for Smash community kind of forgot about this tournament. It happens. But then once they remembered and kind of, you know, it's like, hey, Reimu's in another match. We got to go show support for her. They've been showing up. They've been absolutely destroying it. They've been doing everything right. There might have been a few fake accounts, but that's these big matches, they just seem to have it. So I chuck out what I see, right? Both sides, again. Reimu, it seemed like had some fake ones. Shantae seemed like it had fake ones, but in the end, it really wasn't even that close, right? She won by 100 votes. 100 votes. She beat Waluigi, I think, almost by 100 votes. But we don't talk about that. That didn't happen. But again, Reimu, like, if you don't believe that people want the character by now, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, look, they've been showing up. The number of votes has been going up. More and more people are coming out to show support for her. The Discord, the community is just rallying behind this character, and that's very cool to see. I say it, but I really do feel like I like it. Even if it's a character I'm not particularly fond of, and Reimu's not necessarily a top 10, top 20, top 30 character. She's not even a top 40 character I want to see. She was like 43, 44 when I did my top 50 list. So it's not like somebody I'm actively like, yes, I need to see her in Smash. I'm not there, but who cares, right? I forgot my point where I'm going. It's really late. I stayed up playing Ark a little too late with a buddy, but I don't know where I'm going. Basically, Reimu, she's got everything. She's got the moveset. She's got it all. Be the first indie rep playable in Smash Bros. Be a character. If you know who you're voting for, you already know who you're voting for at this point. I'm just kind of rambling, so there's no point to keep rambling. Let's just get to the voting. Crash Bandicoot is my number 3 most wanted. Like I said, Reimu's like 43 or 44. Crash is a much higher priority for me personally. I absolutely love Crash Bandicoot. Would love to see him duke it out with Nintendo icons, gaming legends as well. He easily has my vote in this one. I don't know if he's going to win this one, though, so it's going to be interesting. So, Crash, Reimu, or both. Who are you voting for, and I guess how are you voting? And again, please be clear in your votes. There's a couple votes that I threw out because it wasn't a clear vote. All right? Keep that in mind. You gotta make sure you clarify who you're voting for. Don't just say, yeah, this character's great in Smash Bros. What? Okay, first of all, they're not in Smash Bros. Yet, so that's not even a vote. Or, this character could have a really cool moveset. I agree, but that's not a vote, so I can't count that as a vote. So just be clear when you vote it. Say, I vote for, and then insert whatever character you're voting for. Simple. Alright, otherwise, that is going to be it for this one. We'll get obviously the results of this one next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday. So winner ends up getting to face Spyro. We'll see how that one plays out. I remember the point I was trying to make earlier. Her fan base has been showing up big time for Reimu. They want to get that rematch against Heavy Weapons guy. He's sitting in the winner's bracket. He's sitting in the championship game right now. Can Reimu get through Crash and then Spyro and then get back there? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.